Hi, I'm Jean Schumacher, founder of Simply Plant-Based, where I have programs to help you to change your health destiny, including the Plant-Based Academy, where I provide help, support, guidance, and resources to switch to a plant-based lifestyle, as well as the Pregnancy Advantage, where Dr. Deborah Shapiro, OBGYN, she and I help women to get their bodies pregnant ready or help heal your bodies if dealing with infertility issues. Today, I have the honor of connecting with Dr. Lee Ettinger, who's a board-certified pediatric nephrologist and obesity medicine, and is a specialist in hypertension. Thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me here today.
Thanks a lot for having me. I'm really excited for our conversation.
Oh, it's a good one. This conversation that we're about to have is based upon the article in the American Journal of Lifestyle Medicine, of which you are one of the authors, and it's titled Plant-Based Diets and Hypertension. Let's talk about animal versus plant protein on hypertension, because there's been a lot of information described in the article that suggests that animal-based foods may directly raise blood pressure. Talk to us about this study where participants were either eating this low-fat or Mediterranean-style diet. What did they find?
So there are some amino acids, which are the building blocks of protein, which are seen in higher proportions in animal-based foods like methionine and alanine. And those were associated, the intake of methionine and alanine were associated with higher blood pressures. Whereas intakes of other amino acids like threonine and histidine, they were found in higher proportions in plant foods and also were associated with lower blood pressures. So there may be some correlation going on between the amino acid makeup of your proteins and your blood pressure.
Well, another punitive mechanism of having animal-based protein is AGEs, advanced glycation end products. What is this and what impact does this have on the body?
AGEs are kind of breakdowns. They're metabolites of other processes. They can even be coming from a cooking process of animal foods that are cooked under high heat, for example, to cause browning, which is also known as the Maillard reaction. And then the AGEs themselves, when they get into our bloodstream and into our body, can cause problems. They can be irritating to the lining in the blood vessels, to the endothelial function, and cause vasoconstriction. And then they also can cause oxidative stress, which is more inflammatory. AGEs are a problem that can end up in the kidney. They can get stuck in the actual kidney tissue, especially people with diabetes. Yeah, people with diabetes develop a lot of these AGEs from uncontrolled diabetes. They can be seen actually in the kidney tissue. And almost like I was describing someone with obesity having fat pressing on the outside of the kidneys, if your kidneys start to get clogged and filled with a lot of these AGEs, it's almost like an internal squeeze on the kidneys, that the kidney tissue is kind of feeling the compression from the inside out by this debris that's built up in the kidneys. And that's thought to be one of the outcomes of diabetes, or one of the mechanisms how diabetes ultimately can cause kidney failure is by a buildup of these AGEs in the actual kidney tissue. So yeah, it's best to try to keep AGEs out of your diet and not produce your own with uncontrolled diabetes.
So let me say this. So going out and grilling a steak or whatever, not a good idea.
Right. That increases the AGEs in the meal and they can end up in your bloodstream.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And most people don't have no clue about this. And they like to see those brown sears, like crossed out. I'm thinking like an Outback Steakhouse, they have it perfectly, it's like a crisscross patch on the meat. Yeah. Mm-mm.
Yeah, it's in every advertisement. Yeah.
Yeah. Nope. Not good for you. Okay. Who knew?
Mm-hmm.
Another impact of plant-based diets is an increase of nitric oxide. Why is this important?
Right. So nitric oxide is the gas that the endothelium cells produce that signal other endothelium cells to relax. So that's the inner lining. So it's helpful to give the precursors in your diet which come from plants to the bacteria in your mouth and in your guts to break down and give the endothelium the building blocks to make the next generation of nitric oxide to help blood vessels relax.
That is definitely going to help your high blood pressure.
I mean, Dr. Esselstyn has done some great studies and research is recommending that his patients with heart disease actually really grind up with their mouth these plants. And it's great in his talks. He goes through the leafy greens that he has his patients chew because the mouth bacteria really helps break down the components for your own body to make more nitric oxide. And you can actually even absorb them through the membranes in your mouth. So that gets you, that's why, you have the nitroglycerin, they put that under your tongue so that you can get the nitroglycerin, which stimulates the nitric oxide too. But if you can eat the plants, and he has his patients with heart disease really chewing on the plants to release the nitric oxide components, right? Nitric oxide, what do you call them?
Well, and plants also have a lot of antioxidant properties as well, which is just overall good for your health.
Yes, exactly. So, antioxidants, why do the plants have so much antioxidants? Because we are all susceptible to damage to our DNA from the sun. And so the plants, what do? Is we put on sunscreen, we go inside, we cover up. The plants don't have any of that option. So what the plants have developed in order to protect their own DNA from the damage from the sun that they cannot escape and that they need for their photosynthesis are these antioxidants, which are in the plants to protect the plants. And then to protect the DNA of the plants from the sun's damaging rays. And then when we eat the plants, we incorporate those antioxidants into our bodies to help protect our DNA from inflammatory damage, from DNA damage that occurs with aging, things like that. So it's just so important to get these into our diet for our own health.
Well, and if you do have the internal locus to want that change, then you're going to need help and support because you're going to have a lot of questions because you're going to be changing your lifestyle. I mean, everything that you've learned for the last however many years you've been on the planet, you're going to be changing that. And so you're going to need help. And so I've created the PlantBased Academy to help people and provide that support and coaching and education. And I know that you offer as well. So share with us what you offer.
Right. So I worked in my hospital in the major medical center in a pediatric weight management program. And I've since left and developed my own pediatric weight management program. Again, for people with an internal locus of control who want to learn how to eat healthier and eat more plant-based. And so I offer a 12-week program with the support of telemedicine visits with an e-course so that you can learn at home. And I've also coordinated with a plant-based chef so that there are virtual cooking classes to your own kitchen, and also a youth fitness expert. She can meet families online and do a virtual exercise classes depending on what the child's interest is, whether that's gaining strength or conditioning or flexibility, things like that. So in that very comprehensive and supportive 12-week program, I'm helping someone, hopefully a family with an internal locus of control who really want to learn how to take these steps. And then another program that I offer is a 4-week pediatric nutrition optimization program. Because what I've been frustrated by is a lot of families that I work with, both when I was in the nephrology department and in the obesity management programs, is that the pediatricians would kind of be getting counter advice. So I'd see a family and they say, oh, I developed anemia. My pediatrician said I should eat more meat, or, oh, I need dairy every day. And so what I really want to help support, or families that were vegan or vegetarian or trying different variations of pescatarian, the plant-based diet, that they were getting a lot of concern from their pediatricians or from other family members or friends as they were raising a child. And so I developed a 4-week program also to help support families to understand nutrition and to avoid deficiencies and to meet all of these concerns and have kind of a response for all these concerns, protein, iron, things like that. So that's a 4-week program, again, all telemedicine with its own separate e-course. And that one's working with the plant-based chef also to learn new recipes and to really give someone a nutrition education and a nutrition mastery. So you go through the 4-week program and then you take that hopefully for the rest of your life. Again, for someone who's very internally motivated, they've learned how to fix their problems with my support. I'm only licensed in New York and New Jersey at this moment, so I'm also offering the e-courses more widely to anyone online who wants to sit down and go through the e-course. It's just when you're working with me one-on-one, then we go through it with more support, more details. But the e-courses are also standalone for people.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.